we were waiting for. I don't have slides, so. All right. Hello, everyone. You can hear me, guys, right? Because I cannot hear myself. You can hear me. Cool. Hi, Christine. All right. I believe I'm the last speaker on the stage for today, and I'll be short. Usually I do presentations, and those of you who attended my speeches in the past, you would see some data and numbers. This year I decided to do something different, not because I'm lazy to prepare a presentation. I want you to ask me questions about the region. So, about myself, my name is Munir. I represent and I run two organizations. AEserver.com is a domain name registrar and a web hosting company based in Dubai. I founded this company in 2005. It was a project when I was in school, and then we became a registrar for our local ccTLD.ae. And total success, we are one of the leading registrars and hosting providers in Dubai right now. We also have a business in Qatar, so we are the largest registrar for .qa, and I think we are the second largest for .bh, not PH, BH. BH is for Bahrain. So we serve in the three GCC countries. GCC is Gulf Cooperation Council. Those of you who have been to the region, you probably know Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates. So those are the 6 states which form the GCC, just the European Union. This is called GCC. The 3 extensions I mentioned to you, AE, QA, BH, they are unrestricted. Any person can register any domain name from anywhere in the world. There is no paperwork, no documentation, nothing is required. We also do hosting, cloud. We have a data center in Dubai. Well, not us, we run in a data center in Dubai. So we do like co-location, cloud, and dedicated servers. Now, the other logo you see on screen is Domain Days Dubai. And this is a very interesting story. I've attended the first domain summit when it was called London Domain Summit in 2022, which was, I mean, who was at the first London Domain Summit? Any one of you here? No one? Really? Okay. So it was in London at a restaurant called Yamsa. It was like a very small restaurant, and I was surprised to see 200 people plus attending the event. And then I was on a train from London to Newcastle with a friend of mine who said, listen, look at Helmut's. He created an event in London in a restaurant, and there were 200 people. Why don't you do something like this in Dubai? I mean, you know Dubai like your 10 fingers. I'm like, well, yeah, I can do that. So we shook hands. Of course, we had a couple of beers before that, so I had no fear. I'm like, yeah, I can do whatever. And the rest is history. He calls me in 2 months and says, Munir, when are you announcing your event? And rest is history. We hosted our first edition in October 2023. I see Berend. Berend, you were at the first edition, right? Or the second? All of them. Yeah, exactly. This is the man. He's been everywhere. And the second one was in November of last year, and we are hosting our third edition in October this year. So it's on October 22nd and 23rd. Domain Days Dubai is the region's, the GCC's and Africa's only domain name and web hosting event. It's a very high-level business-to-business event with mostly C-levels in attendance. We have around 250 people attending. There is lots of people from this part of the world, but what's most important and my personal challenge is to gather more people from the Middle East and Africa. So we have huge support from people from Morocco, from Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, of course, UAE. We have lots of large providers in the UAE. In fact, we have 7 ICANN accredited registrars in the UAE alone. I think there is 0 in Qatar, there is 1 in Kuwait, KuwaitNet, Oman, Bahrain. I think there are 0. So the region is growing rapidly. I mean, you hear about Dubai, Dubai, Dubai all over the news, Instagram, you know, Dubai chocolate and all this stuff. So that's the region I come from. And it's a great gathering, exchanging knowledge, exchanging information, and most importantly, learning about the region. So if any of you who are interested in working in that region and having clients in the region, or maybe you already have clients in the region and you want to meet them, this would be a very great platform to meet these people. So 22, 23 of October, I welcome all of you at Domain Names Dubai. Helmut was very kind enough to allow me to promote the event here, so I thank him for this. And yeah, back to the business. So our region is very small, but it's growing. When I say our region, is the GCC region. As I said, AEserver, the reason I called the company AEserver was because of Arab Emirates, and the AE.E is the ccTLD of United Arab Emirates. Does any one of you, I mean, can you guess how many domain names are there in the .ccTLD of the .ae? I mean, just rough guesses. I mean, if you know the answer, don't answer, but I just want to see, you know. It's a million, a bit less than that. Yeah, any other guesses? Berend? Yeah. 150,000. Okay, so it's double of that. It's 345,000 domains right now. So yeah, thanks for that. It's the largest ccTLD in the Arab world. As I said previously, it's unrestricted, so you can register any domain name. I mean, there are some restrictions like, you know, gambling names, adult names, you know, due to cultural and religional reasons. Otherwise, it's open. There's also a very big aftermarket. If you go on DN Journal, you will see lots of sales happening in .ae. If you go on Name Bio, you will see some crazy sales. I mean, there were sales for $100,000, there were for $5,000, and there is lots of sales happening, you know, behind the scenes, behind closed doors, and they are simply unreported. The policy doesn't allow or disallow the aftermarket sales, so essentially it's available. If you go on CEDO, just search for .ae, you will see so many names for sale. When you drive around Dubai, you see so many, I mean, most of the brands, they use the local extension, .ae, and you see lots of .ai, .io, .com, of course, .net, but yeah, AE is very popular. The same thing applies to Qatar. So again, I'm here, I really want to share more about the region. I was in Qatar, in Doha, I think in March of this year, and driving in Doha, you will see how much they love the local extension. Every domain name you see on the billboard is .qa or .com.qa, because there is a requirement. If you're a local company, you have to use the third level .com.qa domain name. So, and this is the cool thing about these regions. Businesses, I mean, these regions, I mean, you know about GCC, they are mostly tax-free. There is no personal income tax. There is very small corporate income tax. And lots of companies are being set up there every month. So lots of domain names are required, lots of hosting services, website builders, and everything else. So if you are in these fields, you should really look at this market. It's a very interesting and growing market. Qatar.qa, you might be wondering how many domains. I think there is 40,000, close to 40,000 domains in QA. Bahrain is around 7,000 domains. Bahrain was the most recent addition. When I say addition, it was the most recent extension which became unrestricted. You should understand that most of these extensions were restricted, which means you needed to have a trade license or a trademark matching the name. So if my company is AEserver, I cannot register hosting.bh. I need to register AEserver.bh. But things have changed, so the markets are open up, and you can register, buy, sell domains just like a GTLD. In terms of hosting, the region is very well connected. We have major data centers like Equinix, AWS, Google Cloud. So in Dubai alone, in the UAE, we have AWS, we have Alibaba Cloud, we have IBM Cloud, we have also Azure. Google Cloud is going to Saudi Arabia. They are building a huge data center in Saudi Arabia. Qatar has Azure, Bahrain has AWS and Azure. So you can see this didn't exist. I mean, if you would go 5 years ago on AWS, you know, on the page where you see the map of the data center, you see, you know, North America, you see South America, you see Europe, and then there is a huge gap. There is not a single point of presence anywhere in the Middle East or Africa. Things have changed a lot in the 5 years. So lots of hosting providers coming up, lots of cloud service providers, SaaS solutions, you know, all this online accounting software, online cloud contact centers, and you name it, you have it. Yeah, with Domain Days Dubai, we also cover Africa. We used to cover North Africa only. Now we cover the full African region. And it was interesting to know that there are big providers in Africa. So there are ICANN registrars in North Africa, like Morocco. There are providers who have 500,000 domains under management. So big markets over there. Again, if you look at the population, you have big nations like Egypt. If you look at Egypt with the population, with the young population growing, you have big companies like GoDaddy actively playing in the Egyptian market. You see like huge street billboards advertising GoDaddy, the Arabic website builder. So if you're in that, I'm sharing with you business information here, business insights. Not secrets, but insights, tips. I mean, if you are in this field, if you are building a website builder, if you are selling domains, look at these markets. I mean, don't compete with AEserver. We're strong, but go to other markets. But yeah, competition is welcome. With competition comes innovation. I'm always open. In fact, I opened up the market by creating Domain Days Dubai because we share lots of information and knowledge, my personal contacts, my business partners with my competition. And there is no issue with that. With or without me, the connection will happen. And that's the beauty of such events. So, I mean, in the last 5 minutes, perhaps you are sitting here and wondering and you have questions about the region because most of these events happen in Europe, in the US. Do you have any questions about the Middle East markets? Maybe about extensions, about hosting, about connectivity, cloud, data center? Feel free to ask me. I'll share anything I know. So any questions from your side here? Otherwise, I can continue improvising and... No questions? Tess, how much time do I have? Oh, really? Oh, they want to go home? No? Yes, please, David. Yeah, we have lots of, I mean, we have like many players in the region and more are coming up. So you have players who cover pretty much the whole regions, yeah? Those are available. I'm not going to name them, but they are available. So, yeah, so at the event, you mean? Yeah, so there's actually this interesting trend I uncovered. Lots of domainers who used to live in, let's say, Portugal and the States, they moved to Dubai in the past years, like the Booth brothers, Giuseppe, GGRP, and there's lots of other young domainers who now live in Dubai. And, they are all over the news by closing big sales like in .ai, .io. So they were actually the first people to attend and register for the event. In fact, James Booth told me, man, I was waiting for this event like for so many years. Thanks for bringing an event to Dubai. So that's really interesting. I never knew them before my event. So events are an amazing way not just to give back to the community, but also meet new people. And sometimes you uncover, great business partners.
Yeah, I will add to that and say, my background is extensively with very OG investors and top tier domainers, and who lives in Dubai, has a tremendous draw. And then it's neat how each layer of the domain industry builds upon that, because people who can't access them elsewhere can in Dubai. Then the, more difficult to access registrars, registries attend for that reason as well. It's a fabulous show.
Yeah, so I mean, I really like when I like to curate experiences. I mean, one of the reasons I've set up an event or curated an event, how I usually call it, is that I wanted to share a bit of Dubai and a bit of my knowledge. In fact, everything I know with the folks from this industry. I've been attending and speaking at ICANN, Middle East DNS Forum, RIPE, Minog, Affiliate World Summit. I mean, I've been a speaker for many years, and I always dreamt of having something where I can share as well within my vision, right? And Dubai is a great place. It's a very hospitable place. I mean, the level of hospitality, I mean, those who have been there, I mean, dear Tess has been supporting me as a moderator and as a speaker for all the editions. So, and she can she can confess to these words, right? It's a nice experience. It's not just about, being present. It's about being present in a great environment and meeting new people. There are always new people. And you never know unless you speak to someone. I mean, the person sitting next to you, you might not know him, but that person could be your next business partner or, I don't know, your sponsor. a speaker at your event, your client, whatever. This is exactly my story and how I've built the business. I started from nothing. I'm a civil engineer. I mean, it's a funny story. I studied 4 years at an American university, and I'm a civil engineer. I worked 0 days because I always had passion for domains. I used to flip domains, buy and sell domains. In fact, the first ever domain I sold was aemobile.com. It was a website selling Java games. Those of you who remember Nokia 3510i, the first color screen Nokia. Well, not the first one of the first. The older brother of the Nokia 3310. And I sold that. I flipped that domain name, and that's where I realized there is lots of potential, and the rest is history. So I welcome you all to Dubai. Otherwise, if you are interested into snapping up some good local domains like AEQABH, you can do that on our website. We are a registrar. We have the best prices. And if you have any questions about the market in general or just curious about anything what's happening there, feel free to contact me. We have a booth downstairs. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for your time. Thank you, Tess.
Thank you, Munir.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll see you soon in just a few weeks, really.
49 days. Yeah.
I'm sure you're counting, right? And our last presentation for the evening, Zillard from Name Silo comes up to discuss Catch.club.
Thank you.
And I love the baseball mitt theme. Take it away, my friend.